Hello class, what's up? It's Raj here. So today we are discussing about the class 10 chapter 5 life processes NCERT, National Council of Education Research and Training. So today I am giving you the special type of questions that is arise from the NCERT with page numbers class. So first question is that page number 80 to 81, the topic is what are life processes. So question number 1, how can we distinguish between living and non-living thing? So how we can differentiate living from non-living? Okay, so the answer is very simple. Living things carry out processes like movement, breathing, growth, reproduction, etc., while non-living things do not. So living thing carry, for example, the process like we take example of movement, what types of movement they are does, and breathing, taking off oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide, and growth, reproduction. These are the examples of living, living things processes. And non-living thing does not, all the processes not carried by the non-living things are not done in particular manner are there. So next question in class, question number 2, if a living being is not moving, this is the question, listen carefully. If a living being is not moving, how do we still know it is alive? For example, we take example that in a form of example, a form of question, that if the living being is not moving, how do we still know it is alive? So the answer is very simple class, because the other sign like breathing or heartbeat continue even when they are asleep. For example, the people are asleep, they are not responding. So what the others activity they are do, they are simple activity, the sign like breathing or heartbeat continue in that particular manner are there. So perpetually these things happening in the perception of life class. Next question number 3, is visible movement the only criterion for life? Okay, so if you're talking about that class, is visible movement, what type of movement was it, that is known as visible movement, is the only criteria for the life? The answer is very simple class, no. Even if visible movement is absent, okay, molecular or cellular molecular or cellular movement, if you're talking about the molecular or cellular movement can indicate life. So indication of life, that is responding is not only solution, the molecular or cellular movement is also responsible for it. So we most of the people are not thinking about the molecularity, molecularity at cellular levels based thinkings, hypothetical thinking are there. But we have to think class, though is the visible movement is not only criteria for the life, never, because even if the visible movement absent, molecular or cellular movement can be indicate life. In the coma patient, the patient is also dead or alive, both the sign are we can see in them. So what is mean that the cellular activity is active in a coma patient? So these are including are in the one thing. So next question class, what are molecular movement, are they important? If you're talking about the molecular movement, are they important? Yes, they are crucial for maintaining the internal organization for living being. If you're talking about class, what are the molecular movements? The molecules of the body is movement, move. And are they important? Yes, very important, because all the activities done by these molecules and responding towards it. So yes, they are crucial for maintaining the internal organization of living beings class. After that, why is there a debate about whether viruses are alive? There is a debate, we know that. So because they don't show life processes like molecular movement until inside a host cell. Viruses are inactive in the air, but it is active and responding toward the host. What types of host? We take example of the coronavirus classes. In 2019 we can see that what types of pandemic the coronavirus 19 is going through past. So what we can learn from that class, the actually this things is very vital thing, and we are just not talking about the viruses, we are talking about debate about the viruses are alive or not. Next question class, how is a living organism organized? If we're talking about how a living organism organized, organisms are structured into the cell, and cell is composed and made up of tissue, and tissue is made up of organs is made up of system, and system makes work together to maintain a perform a life function are there. So how the living organism organized? The basic and fundamental and structural unit of life is the cell. Cell is making, the group of cell is making tissue, the group of tissue is making organs, and group of organs making a system. This is the conventional series of the body, human body. So next question, why must organism constantly repair their structure? Why they are constantly repair their structure? What is the reason if you're talking about? So first thing is that to maintain order and survive. In order to maintain order and survive environmental damage. The question is that, listen class carefully, why must organism constantly repair their structure? Why they repairing their structure? They can leave it. Why they are repairing their structure? The answer is very simple class. So to maintain order and survive environmental damage, otherwise they die. Seriously, if they are not order and survive in the environmental damage, you are repairing up, maintaining whatever you tell, so otherwise they are die. Next, page number 81, introduction to the life processes. Question number 8, do life processes stop when we sleep or rest? This is a very critical question. In a high order thinking level question are there, HOTS. So no, basic life function like respiration and circulation continue even at a rest. If you're talking about that, no, the life processes stop when we sleep or rest. Okay, first of all, but no, basic life function like respiration and circulation, they continue even at the rest. If you're talking about at the rest, they are their classes. Okay, so the basic function like respiration and circulation continue at the rest. Next question, define life processes. The official definition according to the NCERT, and also I contribute something in it. So what is the definition of life processes? Life processes are all processes necessary to maintain and support life, such as nutrition, respiration, transport and excretion. These all functions are come in it class. For example, life processes are the all processes, it come in the all processes and necessary to maintain. What types of maintaining the class? Support life such as nutrition, respiration, transport and excretion. These are the come under the life processes. Next, so if you're talking about class, next question, what do organism need food? Yeah, why do organism need food? So to supply energy for cellular processes and body maintenance, they are need food class. Okay, the organism need food to maintain cellular processes and body maintenance. Next, what is nutrition class? If in simple words we can say that the process of intake and utilization, the process of intake and utilization of food to get energy and raw materials are come under in the nutrition class. Next, what is the basic component of food in living organism? If you are talking about class, the carbon based molecules, all the carbon based molecules like carbohydrate, fat, proteins are come under the basic component of food in the living organisms class. Next, how does the body, next question, how does the body release energy from food? This is the very vital question also. So through the chemical reactions, especially oxidation with oxygen and in respiration. So does the body release, how does the body release energy from food? So answer is very simple, through the chemical reaction, especially oxidation with oxygen, and in respiration are there. After that, we are next question, going to the next question class. Define respiration. What is the respiration class? In simple word, what we can tell about the respiration? A process where oxygen is used. This is the process where oxygen is used to break down food and release energy. A process where oxygen is used to break down the food and release energy. That's it. That is the definition of the respiration class. After that, why do unicellular organisms not need specialized organ? Question number 15. Why do unicellular organisms not need specialized organs? Okay, because every cell is contact with the environment. In unicellular organism, every cell is in contact with the environment and can perform function independently. How? So every cell contact with the environment and can perform functions independently. After that, we are saying that class, why can't next question, why can't diffusion support life in complex organism? I repeat this question, very important question. Why can't diffusion support life in complex organism? So because some cells are deep inside the body. Some cells are deep inside the body and cannot access nutrients. They can't access nutrient class. So yeah, gases directly. So diffusion help the process. Diffusion is a process that help up to some cells to deep inside the body and can't access nutrients or gas directly. So next, why do humans and animals need transport systems? Why humans and animals need transport system? What is the reason? To carry food, oxygen, and remove waste from all the cells. Okay. So to carry food, oxygen, and remove waste from cell. In simple word, I can explain these things to you. Next, what is the excretion class? If you're talking about the excretion, what is the excretion? The process of removing harmful metabolic waste product. This is the process class where removing harmful metabolic waste products from the body. For example, in simple word, what the excretion, we can say that the process of removing harmful metabolic waste product from the body is known as excretion in simple words. Next, why do we need specialized excretory organs? Why? In humans, we can see that in a multicellular organism, we can also see that there is a specialized excretory organ. Why this needed? The answer, class, is a very simple. Because waste forms in every cell and must be carried to the excretory organs. Okay, this is a specialized excretory organ. The main function is that to carry waste from every cell in the body, and after that they are releasing out of the body. Because you can't take the waste product in inside our body. It very harmful class. Next question, page 82 to 84. Nutrition in living organism. Question number 20. Does the body need energy even when we don't function? Okay. So the body need energy even when we don't function. What is the answer of it? Energy is needed continuously for internal functions like heartbeat, breathing, and cell repair. These all are come under in it. After that, next question. What is the source of energy in the organism? The food we consume. Answer is very simple. The food we consume is the energy source in the living organism. The source of energy in the living organism. In simple way, we can see that. Okay. Define autotrophs. Very important question, class. So, organism like green plants that make their own food, okay, from simple substances using sunlight. If you're talking about the autotrophs, organism like green plant that make their own food from simple substances using the sunlight, this is known as class autotrophs. If you're talking about the next question, define heterotrophs. What is the basic difference between autotrophs and heterotroph class? Autotrophs make their own food. But in a case of heterotrophs are depend upon the others animals. So we can see that organism that depends on others for food like animals and fungi. These are the example of heterotrophs class. So what is the role of enzyme in the nutrition? The next question is very easy. So enzymes are the biological catalysts that help break down the food during digestion. In a case role of enzymes in the nutrition, enzymes are the biological catalyst. What is the catalyst? Catalyst, the rate of reaction the particular product are increasing or decreasing. Okay, it is known as catalyst, but it is a biological catalyst that is inside a body and functioning to help break down the food during the digestion, to break down the food from complex substance to simple substance. Okay, but one thing that is very important about the enzymes is the biological catalyst. Okay, this is increasing the rate of reaction of the breakdown of the food during the digestion. Next question class, why are autotrophs important to all life? If I am saying to you that class, why the autotrophs important for to the all the life? They form the base of the food. Okay, they forming the base of the food chain. So autotrophs is important to all life because this is independent class, not dependent first. So in the case of autotrophs, we can see that they form the base of the food chain and provide food for all the other organisms class. Next question, question number 26. What is photosynthesis? If we are talking about the photosynthesis, the process by which green plants use sunlight to make food from CO2 and water with the help of chlorophyll. In simple words. So the process by which green plants use sunlight to make food from CO2 and water with the help of chlorophyll. And chlorophyll is found in the green plant class. Next question. In what form is energy stored in the plant? What is the form? Energy is stored in the plant. That is, the form is class carbohydrate. In carbohydrate, there is a two things are there, glucose and starch class. Okay, so these are the two types. And what are the three major steps of photosynthesis? Major steps. First, light absorption by the chlorophyll. Second class, splitting of water into H2 and O2. And number third, reduction of CO2 to carbohydrate. These are come under the photosynthesis. First, I am telling you that light absorption by chlorophyll. First, second, splitting of water into H2 and O2. And number third, reduction of CO2 to carbohydrate class. Next, this is the from question NCERT activity 5.1. So I take this question. What does the variegated leaf experiment show? So in a variegated is leaf experiment, so the photosynthesis occur only in the green parts of the leaf containing chlorophyll. And in activity 5.2 NCERT, what does the bell jar plus KOH, potassium hydroxide class, full form of KOH is a potassium hydroxide experiment. So photosynthesis does not occur without CO2. CO2 is the mandatory class. In activity 5.2 you can see that there is a bell jar plus KOH, potassium hydroxide, but can't done photosynthesis because CO2 is not present. So without CO2 you can't do that. The photosynthesis does not occur without the CO2 class. That's it. Next question. What are the stomata? Very basic question as class. Pores on leaf surfaces that regulate gas exchange. Pores on the leaves, just like small pinches in the leaf, you can see that with the help of sunlight. So pores on the leaf surfaces that regulates gas exchange, that is called stomata class. Next question. What controls the opening and closing of stomata? If you are talking about the opening and closing of stomata, what controls? The answer is guard cell. Guard cell is controlling stomata opening and closing class. Both are controlled by the guard cell. Next part we are continue from page 85 to 86. That topic name is heterotrophic nutrition and digestion in human. Thank you so much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.